All narcissists have three main things in common. They all have this idea that they're really important. They fantasize about their success and they're grandiose. They're grander, like they see themselves as better than others. But today, I think a lot of our media talks about narcissists in that they're out there, they're loud, they're toxic, they're abusive, everybody sees them in the room. There's another kind of narcissist called a covert. Covert are sneaky. They're more the ones that, they're not extroverted, they're introverted, but they're just as toxic, just as abusive as the overt ones. It's just that they're undercover because they are more introverted. So if you get them or you encounter them in a workplace, they're the ones that are quiet, working behind the scenes, but they're just as conniving, they're just as intimidating, they're just as grandiose and self-important as they are if they're out in the world. I think the covert narcissists are more likely to be married because they're quiet, and many people aren't able to feel the gut feeling or to see them for who they are until they're already very close with them and intimate. So if that's where you are, if you are with one, you may even see someone you work with in this identification. But I want to tell you what to look for, okay? First of all, they have a tendency to say these things. I'm too good for this. I shouldn't have to tolerate these people. I deserve all the good things life has to offer. Other people have it better than me. And it isn't that I deserve more because I'm better than other people. People never appreciate how special I am. I can't believe you did that. Don't do that again. You should feel ashamed. And you'll hear this. When I do marriage counseling, I'll hear this from a partner and I'll go, oh my gosh, nobody knew. You didn't have any idea you were with this kind of person. So they have more of a tendency to be passive self-importance. So they are really ones to act out this passive aggressive because remember, they're quiet about it, but their need for self-importance and superiority is just as much as a full-blown covert or overt narcissist. They blame and shame a lot, not only to their partner, but to others. This is how they isolate. They talk to their partner many times about how awful their friends are. They make them feel ashamed. They blame them for things. So pretty soon, you don't want to hang out with your friends because you start seeing all this terrible stuff they do. And this is when you're under the influence of the covert narcissist. Creating confusion. They'll create confusion telling you you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. This is very similar to the overt ones, the ones who are out there with it. And once again, it's all behind the scenes. So they don't come right out and say this. They do it in sneaky ways behind the scenes. When I say sneaky, I mean sneaky because they're so passive. Procrastination and disregard. They'll procrastinate to the last minute. They know exactly what they're doing. But most of the time, you have to remember that narcissists also lack self-awareness. So you'll say, do they do this on purpose? Sometimes they do, but they don't have the awareness many times that you have, that you're able to see it because they see themselves as so important, so much bigger and smarter than you. So surely you couldn't figure this out. They give if there's a goal for them in it. So they look like, oh my gosh, they're so loving and giving. No, there has to be a goal for them, something they're going to get. They don't just give because they love you. They don't just give because it's going to make someone happy. And emotional neglect. They have a tendency that if you do say, you know, I just feel like you're emotionally detached, you're never around, they're going to turn that on you and they're going to blame you for it. It's going to be something you did and you should feel ashamed for it. So how do you deal with them? Well, the first thing is, hopefully you're not married to this kind of person, because if you're married to them, then you've been under this treatment for years probably. If you're dating them, it's important that when they do this stuff, you don't take it personally, that you're able to see out. Try to keep your objectivity. Don't take it personally and go, okay, so noted, this person does this. Because when you see it once, it's one time. But if you see it twice, okay, now it's becoming a consistent pattern. And by then, sometimes you'll even feel it in your gut. Set boundaries. If you set boundaries and they hate the boundaries you set, that's a very clear signal to me that this person has some narcissistic tendencies. Advocate for yourself. You need to stick up for yourself. You need to say, no, I'm not crazy. This is what you said last time, and this is what you're saying this time. And they could just say, well, I changed my mind, but nobody changes their mind all the time. And it becomes so consistent that it's very clear to see, okay, this person is really disturbed. And keep a healthy distance. Even if you're married to someone like this, you know, they'll usually, especially the covert ones, they'll kind of go into hiding for a while. It's important that you continue to create that space. Go with that space. Don't let them get too much into your heart or skin. If you're married to this kind of person, you're going to need to stay in therapy, or at least have a therapist that you can go to when the time is really bad. Because there's moments with these kind of people that you could swear it's you, that you're crazy. They confuse you so much. It's not you, and you're not crazy. It's their disorder. And by the way, medicating these kinds of people is very difficult because they think they're better than anybody else. They think they're smarter than anybody else. So their chances of being consistent with taking medicine, being able to have that self-awareness to take medicine is very small percentage that they actually will do it and take it consistently. Seek help in all this. Don't try to do this on your own. If you're dating this person, stop dating them. This is a reason enough to get away. I mean, it's probably, your gut is probably telling you this person has problems. Listen to your gut. Even if they've already gotten into your heart, it's important that you don't take this on, because any kind of a life with this kind of person is going to bring you a lot of emotional pain. And anytime a covert narcissist sees you happy, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be grateful for you. They're going to have the opposite effect. It's going to make them jealous. They're going to ask you right away, why isn't this me? Or they're going to say the reason you have success in this area is because of me. So there will never be a time when you get to shine on your own. And every human being needs that. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.